In the last video, we added this content section here. We use custom fields to display this text and the copy below it. What was bugging me at that point was when I scaled the browser, there was this white space in between the blue section here and the photo itself. I wanted to fix that. To do that, I actually went back offline and changed a few things in our code to get that to work, at least a decent working solution, I should say. So the main changes I did involve adding a bit of HTML, and that was inside of our header. I'm going to show you from this point of view first. So we have our basic header, which is here on the left. We still have that div that's encapsulating this slant thing that I called header slant. Below that, we had two, I guess, divs at that point that weren't really wrapped with anything. What I did that's different at this point is added these two sections in the HTML, and I gave them both IDs. One is the actual header, which is the logo and the menu elements up on the top right here. And the other is the intro content, which is this stuff here, as well as this image. So that was step one. Those things gave me a basis to target them with CSS, and from there I grabbed each ID and targeted them with specific styles. The slant itself needed to be pretty tall. It's behind this photo, so if I were to decrease the height right now, you'd see some white space come back. There's probably a better solution out there for this to get it to work, but for now I'm going with this method. So there you saw me take it from 300 pixels to 9, and it came back. So it needs to be set with a taller height than you need it, and then the overflow itself needs to be hidden. Additionally, the intro block, which is this content here again, to reiterate, it needs a height as well to kind of push that blue area down. At the time when I was troubleshooting, I had it set to 100%, and while that works, it shoots all the way down the page. Rather than deal with that, I went with a fixed height. And I mean, realistically, I don't know that I need this style, so I might just remove it. Yeah, and then it comes back to the original. So we'll actually remove that for now. And then one thing that was off once I adjusted things there was this photo. It was kind of hidden behind this div here. So to fix that, I did some positioning on it, as well as adjusted the actual top and right margins. It had a smaller z-index at that time, and it was doing this kind of thing, which isn't ideal at all. So I increased the z-index. When I did that, the photo itself was overlaying these links at the top of our menu, so I had to increase the z-index on that itself. So to do that, rather than wrapping the whole header itself positioned differently, I wrapped it in this header ID, as you saw. So that's where I am right now. Going forward, we can adjust this image. See, these things it's kind of overlaying this content as well, so I'm gonna have to adjust the positioning on that intro block as well. So why don't we actually, I just deleted it, we'll add it back. Intro, I think it's just called intro. We'll do position. I'm almost certain it needs to be relative just to do this right. So z-index, I think the other one was 11, so we'll do 12 here. Oh, that threw it off completely. Maybe we'll remove that. Okay. Let me try these styles. So if that's positioned relative, this is position absolute. We can go right. Maybe we'll do something like this. This is kind of hacky, but we'll see. And it's not even working right, so let's see what we can do here. that should work. That's still overlaying that. That's interesting. So that works with that, but now not the menu. Oh, this is an interesting problem. Let's try that. Let's make this even more. Okay, did we get it? I think so. So crazy Z-index stuff going on, but for now it's working. We might have to tweak that, but I'm honestly kind of getting sick of working with it. So I think we're gonna move on to the next section in this video. Let's move on. Our design in the next section is this kind of overlaid, I don't know, block that's kind of floating, so we can maybe recreate that pretty easily. It looks like it's definitely not our full container width, so we'll have to adjust that proportionally. Let's go ahead and add these custom fields for now, but before I do that, I'll make all of our new files we need and add those to our main front page file. So let's call this one what was the design? The benefits. Let's call it benefits for now. And of course we need to create that file. Content benefits.php. And since our lifestyle one kind of had a framework, I'm gonna grab that as well. We can tweak it to be our own version here. So we'll give it a benefits class, if I could spell. And honestly, I'll probably make this a div, because it could be from the custom field. I might make it a WYSIWYG editor, so you can do bold text or links or something like that. And then for now, we'll get rid of these variables that are echoing. All right. So this one we actually want to center, and I think our grid library allows us to do that pretty easily if you just use center XS on the row class. With Flexbox, it'll figure itself out. So let's go back to our custom fields. If I could type. And let's create a new group. We'll call this landing page benefits. I'm calling all these landing page benefits just because I'm going to have them only on the landing page. Your groups can be named whatever you want. I'm just doing it for my own benefit. No pun intended. Okay, so this will be our benefit title. We'll do landing page benefits title. And I'll get rid of the landing page part for the @ We just need it to be a text field. And then we'll do landing page benefits content. So this one I'm going to make a WYSIWYG editor, and that is available here. So there's a few things you can do. You can make it visual and text. If you've used WordPress, the content editor before, it's kind of those tabs that are at the top. I do both, but I think we don't want to have media uploads, and we'll just do basic for the toolbar, because it's really only like bold text or links or something. And make sure to add our template. Cool. And we'll publish. So I'm going to grab these variables while I have them. do our get field instance. And last one. And like the other lifestyle template, we can just do the same thing here. And I'm kind of a stickler for white space, so I'm going to bring that back up. Cool. We need to adjust these classes though, benefits. Okay. Before we obviously can see anything, we need to add content to that. So let's go to our home page, and why is that showing now? I'm gonna go back to our fields real quick. I don't want our main content pane to show, so I'm gonna disable it on all these guys, just for safety's sake. Because sometimes you run into conflicts. So if one's active and one's inactive, it will end up just going to the default, which is useful but also annoying if you can't find out which one is which. Okay, so I think that should do it. Cool. But okay, I'm gonna go back again. I want to make this the third in line. All these sections, as you can see them like this. Oh, it looks like it is. Never mind. Okay. So let's grab this content. Just noticed the design doesn't have R. That's funny. You probably saw that all along, and I'm just now seeing it. And we'll copy this into, if it'll let me. Apparently I cannot. What is that about? Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. So we don't have any formatting now, but I'm assuming Jamie or someone will want to update that. You can add that with these WYSIWYG components here. I'm going to go back to our custom fields real quick and make sure that field is actually okay. There we go. I think that'll help. Yeah. Cool. So we have that component. Let's go to our front end of the site. We should see it. There it is. So the one thing that I don't like about that center XS class that we added is that it centers everything in it. So I'm gonna actually remove that. And what we'll do is a column medium offset of, I don't know, 2, 3. Just want to center this guy. So yeah, it should go full width. Okay, so according to our design, this needs to kind of live above that photo. We also need to include the symbol there, and also our button text and link. So I'll add those in a minute. But let's include our icon. Go icon. And then maybe we'll embed that directly if it's not ridiculously sized SVG. Let's see how huge it is. And it is pretty big. Why not? I don't think it's a big deal. It's kind of annoying to look at that much code, but realistically, how often do you view source on every site you're on? It's huge too, but we can target it. So I gave it an ID. To target it, we need to add a new style sheet. I'm going to do that in this folder, partials, under landing, and we'll create a benefits _benefits.scss file. So then we can target that with just benefits. But first we need to include it on our landing page or import it. And make sure we save this. So our class itself has or our div, its section, I should say, has the class of benefits, so we can grab it that way. I want to grab the icon for now. What's the width in the file? It's pretty small. 50 by 50. We'll say 59. And then text align center, I think. So first, this thing's annoying me. We'll do position, not absolute, but relative. And the Z index, this needs to be pretty high. I don't know. This one, we're gonna have a background. This might be weird though, because we have that offset, so yeah. We need to have a containing div that's pushing all this content. So why don't we use this one and see if that works. Background white. That should work. We'll do a crazy amount of padding. I don't know how much. So this tells me this column needs to be bigger. Maybe we'll do 8 with the offset of 2. Yeah, it's better. It's pretty high off this bottom here, so let's adjust that too. We'll have to put some negative value on the benefits div here. Not that, maybe like 30 pixels. Cool. So we need a border radius. What do we got on this? 6 pixels. Right on. Padding needs to be more, quite a bit more. We'll do 90. That's pretty close. I think we'll do an even 100. And I'm gonna make this one more width bigger. That's kind of weird. It's gonna be uneven, I think. Okay, I'm going to revert back to the 8, call medium 8, and the offset of 2. We can work with that. And there's some things I'm going to go back and fix, like the alignment. This is pushed over a tad. It's kind of tight to the header itself. I think the header needs to be larger in height. So we'll fix that. I'm going to work on this section now. So we have all of our content. That heading itself needs to be a bit larger. I believe we gave it a class. The title and benefits content. Before we do that, we can do a box shadow. And I know this by heart, but we can do RGBA 0. So RGBA means you can use alpha at the very end and basically give it opacity to a fill. We need to make our box shadow pretty obvious. According to the design here, it's pretty large. So we'll do kind of a side-by-side here in a second, but I'm going to throw in some values for now. Maybe, so this is the x-axis, y-axis, and the blur, I believe. I think you can even do Z, but I don't really deal with that one. I don't know. That's too far. I think I'm going to keep this one like 5 and then make this one huge. Even bigger. Oops. Come on. Oh, I can't type. There we go. I think that's close. I might go one more or a couple more. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Now obviously we don't want that padding, that amount of padding on the mobile version, so I can fix that right now real quick. Padding, let's say not even half of that. I like to do breakpoints inline, just easier to find them. Gone are the days, I think, where you would create your media queries at the end of the file and just do everything again. I think that's kind of, obviously it still works, but it's not as easy to transcend your style sheet when you're working on it. So if you're wondering why I do this inline like that, that is why. Let's make this didn't work for us, the text align center on the icon itself, but we made a div around it for that reason. So we called it benefits icon. And then we'll throw that back in there. It should be good now. And the title needs to be larger. We're looking at 32 pixels or points. That equates to, what did I use on the previous? Let's try this one. Oops. That's not bad. I'm gonna lose the margin. Or just the bottom margin. And the icon itself is pressed down quite a bit. I could do just a quick negative positioning there to get it kind of more like a design. That's pretty close. We need to make sure our line height is legit though. Might need to adjust that. I believe since we use the WYSIWYG, WordPress is annoying and adds these p tags for each of these, which, okay, it's supposed to, but it's just like, man, sometimes you don't want to have to target a single p tag or whatever. I don't think we can even do it this way. I think it's, you know what, I'm gonna put it here. It looks like our line height's just not quite tall enough either. I think I'm gonna go back in our variables and add a bit more, even more than that, maybe 1.8. Yeah, it looks closer. Yep. Okay. So let's add this button next. I think I'll make that text editable. Same with the link, just to have it on the back end, easy to update on the fly if we need to. I'm going to add those now. So we'll do landing page, benefits, button, text. And that will be just a text field. I think we'll do the same with the link because it's going to be, it's going to link to an anchor down the page. And here's the link. Keep it just a text field. We'll just enter a hash so we can target that div directly. I'm making that editable mainly under the presumption that we might change naming conventions on some of this stuff. So rather than have to dive into the code, it'd be nice to just grab that field and update it when I needed to. So we're back in our content-benefits file. I'm gonna add these in. Oops. So we need to add that button at the bottom. I'm gonna add a div, benefits, CTA. CTA means call to action. And inside that we'll have a link. We'll echo benefits, our landing page, benefits, button, text goes here, and echo landing page, benefits, button, link. Okay. We do need to add some classes to give this some styles, so we'll just do button and button primary since we want the blue button. There was also an arrow icon on this button. I think I can grab, oh, I need to actually add the text. Hang on. Let's go to the homepage and the text. Right now we'll do a hash for the link. The text needs to be this. And the icon will add as maybe another SVG if it's not too much of a pain. Can you copy SVG? See, that's the one thing I missed from Sketch. You can copy SVG directly. You don't have to export it. let's export this real quick. Going to go into layers, grab this, create a slice. I'm going to rename it if I can. I don't think I can. Okay. And we'll just export that individual icon as an SVG for web. Cool. And I'm going to put that in our assets folder. Awesome. I'm going to go, whoa. And that icon was after the button itself, or after the text, so we'll want to add that here. Maybe we'll put it in a span just so I can target it outside of the SVG itself. So we need that file. Let's call this arrow down. Why does it use the base 64? Okay, I don't like that, so screw that idea. Let's find an icon just like this. Show in Finder. This is an app called IconJar, by the way. Very useful. I'm just going to drag this in here. We're going to grab that code, we're going to close that, and we're going to paste this in. Get rid of the ID. And I think that should do it. It looks, I know it looks kind of gross, but actually we're going to add an ID back because I wanted to I want to target that and give it a different fill. I already know it's going to be black and huge, so let's go to benefits CTA, arrow down, and we'll do this. Down. Fill is white, so we shouldn't see it there. And then the width and height, we'll just use our design as a 20. Cool. All right, so since it's in that span, we can target that instead of the SVG itself, just because. I'm gonna give this a little nudge from the top. More than that. And we'll actually do from the left too, so let's do, we'll do padding. Like 10. There we go. That should work. Yeah. So we have our button. Kind of matching our design the way we want it. Not quite sure what we'll do with this gray background scenario here. I might have to do something tricky with that, or it's part of this content below it. I think we'll save that for the next video though.